The highly anticipated FIFA World Cup draw does not disappoint. Tonight, soccer fans know more about the U.S. matches, including those in Los Angeles, Seattle, and Santa Clara, California. Good evening. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. The first World Cup match played here in the U.S. will happen in L.A. when the U.S. men's team takes on Paraguay. That was decided today during the draw in Washington, D.C. There were watch parties for the draw in cities across the country preparing to host next year's matches, and fans in 3 West Coast regions were among those getting in on all the fun today. Tonight, Fox 13's Lauren Donovan shows us how people are counting down to next year's World Cup in the host city of Seattle.
Kegs were tapped, coffee was brewed. I mean, is there not a more quintessential location to host this watch party than a brewery in Seattle? Well, folks were eager to get in. I mean, they showed up real early before doors opened at 8 a.m. Some waiting 10, 20 minutes to get in this place, to get in on the action. 600 in total RSVP'd. Among them, some big names here in Seattle. Police Chief Sean Barnes, Fire Battalion Chiefs, local soccer legends, even some reality TV stars mixing and mingling with FIFA officials. All the football fans in this place, though, they weren't focused in on them as much as they were the big screen as the balls were drawn and groups were formed. FIFA Seattle CEO Peter Tomazawa says the groups that matter most for us to focus in on the home front are B, D, and G. That is who is going to be playing here in Seattle.
What we are going to do is do an outreach to all the general consulates, to all the nations that are coming here. We'll have a special reception for them in January, and we're going to welcome them to our great city, and then we'll start talking about bringing the best of Washington to the world, and then we'll start that storyline and storytelling in January.
As Seattle FIFA CEO pointed out, we have got 187 days to go until the World Cup is here in the Emerald City. It is fast approaching. We're reporting in Capitol Hill. Lauren Donovan, Fox 13 News.
Okay, in the San Francisco Bay Area, hundreds of soccer fans headed to PayPal Park in San Jose today to watch the final selection of the teams for the World Cup. That stadium is the home of the Earthquakes, and it will be one of the 2 training sites for the World Cup. The matches will be played at the home of the San Francisco 49ers in nearby Santa Clara. Fans say they were excited to see the draw in person and learn which venues will be hosting global matchups next June.
I wanted to be able to add more excitement to seeing the draw instead of just being alone at home.
Could have sat at home, but it's nice being around here with all the other passionate soccer football fans. So I enjoyed it. Just being here at PayPal Park.
Fans say they were looking forward to attending some of the games next year. They say the best parts of the World Cup are the upsets and the surprises as the best teams in the world go head to head. People also gathered at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles today for a viewing party during the draw, and it was good news for L.A. The U.S. men's team will be facing Paraguay, as we mentioned, for the first World Cup match played here in the U.S., and that's happening in June. The stadium says it's been hard at work getting ready to transform the U.S. football stadium into a soccer pitch fit for the World Cup.
Our test pitch earlier this year, did some work last year in 24. We've done everything. FIFA has signed off, said it was the best field they've seen since Qatar. So we are very excited for the opportunity to showcase what SoFi Stadium is going to do.
L.A. Mayor Karen Bass said in a statement, Los Angeles is, quote, proud to open its doors to the world and celebrate the unifying power of sport. President Trump was awarded a new FIFA Peace Prize during today's World Cup draw in Washington, D.C. FIFA President Gianni Infantino and the president are close allies. Infantino has said he thinks President Trump should have won the Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts brokering a ceasefire in Gaza. The prize is a departure from the Federation's traditional focus on sports. The president expressed gratitude during his acceptance speech.
Most importantly, I just want to thank everybody. The world is a safer place now. The United States 1 year ago was not doing too well. And now I have to say we're the hottest country anywhere in the world, and we're going to keep it that way.
The prize comes during a week where the Trump administration has been under scrutiny for lethal strikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean, and as the president has hardened some of his rhetoric on immigrants. Arizona Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva says she was pepper sprayed by federal agents during a protest of immigration raids today. Demonstrators clashed with agents working to make arrests at a restaurant in Tucson. Congresswoman Grijalva was in that area and appeared to make an effort to de-escalate the situation. She says she was pepper sprayed after identifying herself as a member of Congress.
Small mom and pop businesses that don't have the financial resources to fight back. And so they're looking at I-9s, and that's what they're doing. They're targeting small businesses and people that are helping in our communities in order to try to fill the quota that Trump has given them.
It's unclear how many arrests were made at that scene. Several protesters said they will continue efforts to help immigrants in their community.
The goal is to communicate to the people that this is not normal. This is not okay. It will come to an end, and it will end in court.
ICE put out a statement on that operation today in Tucson saying, quote, special agents and officers from ICE Homeland Security Investigations, IRS Criminal Investigation, and other federal partners are executing 16 search warrants in southern Arizona as part of a years-long investigation into immigration and tax violations. Multiple individuals are in custody. Well, Oregon is home to as many as 10,000 Afghan refugees, and advocates now say many of them are living in fear and feeling uncertain as the Trump administration vows an immigration crackdown on Afghans. This follows last Wednesday's shooting near the White House that killed a West Virginia National Guard member and left another injured. Last week, the Trump administration paused immigration applications for 19 countries, including Afghanistan. According to DHS, the suspect in that D.C. shooting was an Afghan national, Ramanullah Lakanwal, who arrived here in the U.S. in 2021 as an asylum seeker under what's called Operation Allies Welcome, and he was living in Washington state. The CEO of the Afghan Support Network, located in Beaverton, says local Afghan refugees are uncertain how the new policies will affect them, but he says the community is resilient.
These are doctors, educators, policemen. Across the country, there are folks that have already joined the Army. They're in the National Guard. Every day, I'm surprised at the ability that this community has. Given all of the challenges, given all of the struggles, that they show up every single day and they're succeeding.
He also says interviews for asylum, green cards, and work authorizations are also uncertain right now. The nonprofit says they plan to hold a gathering with attorneys so they can answer some of the community's questions. The U.S. Supreme Court has agreed to hear arguments over President Trump's call to restrict birthright citizenship. The president's executive order states that children born to parents who are in the U.S. illegally or temporarily are not American citizens. The administration is appealing lower court rulings that struck down the restrictions as unconstitutional. The 14th Amendment was adopted to give citizenship to formerly enslaved people and their children. The Trump administration argues it should not apply to children of, quote, aliens. The case will be argued in the spring, and a ruling is expected sometime by early summer. California Governor Gavin Newsom is in Washington, D.C., meeting with congressional leaders and renewing his request from the federal government for relief for wildfires earlier this year.
We've had a number of meetings with bipartisan meetings, Republican, Democratic, Senate leaders, talking about disaster recovery, not only for the people that have been torn asunder in Southern California, particularly in Los Angeles, a $33.9 billion request that we have into the administration, but the support for each other all across the United States, from North Carolina to the floods and the disaster that unfolded a number of months ago in Texas.
Newsom shared that video on social media today after meeting with members of California's congressional delegation, as well as Arkansas Senator John Boozman. Governor Newsom is calling on Congress to reauthorize long-term recovery aid that's typically given to major natural disasters. So far, the White House has not commented on the governor's request. Video streaming services may undergo a huge change following a blockbuster deal between two California media giants, Netflix and Warner Brothers. As Fox's Ashley Dvorkin tells us, this deal will be subjected to intense regulatory review before it's approved.
I think it's the perfect marriage of content with distribution.
A Hollywood bidding war finally fades to black And Warner Brothers Discovery's film and TV studios and streaming platform HBO Max goes to Netflix.
This is a game changer. It really is. Because if you think about it, they're going vertical now. The production, the existing library, the ability to produce more into global distribution. Who is going to catch up with them? Nobody.
The media giant beating out Paramount and Comcast. The deal is valued at over $82 billion and will give Netflix access to Warner Brothers' trove of content, including the Harry Potter franchise, Game of Thrones, DC Comics, and more. It does not include Warner-owned cable channels like CNN and TNT. Netflix said the deal will allow it to significantly expand its production in the U.S., which will create jobs and strengthen the entertainment industry. Netflix also said it expects to maintain Warner Brothers' current operations, which includes releasing movies in theaters. The plot very much thickens when it comes to the long-term theatrical release plan of this merger, as it remains a big question for many in the industry.
From nothing when they started to a bone-crushing combination of the best content and global distribution. Everybody in media wants to be on Netflix.
The deal could still face regulatory challenges, as some lawmakers argue the merger would give Netflix too much control over content and distribution. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, a dirt bike rider pulls off a dangerous stunt jumping over a road in Arizona. Why this viral video led to the teenage rider being arrested.
It has been raining in the Pacific Northwest. It has been foggy in the Bay Area, sunshine in LA, and now look at the beautiful skyline of Phoenix, Arizona. We got you covered with your West Coast Wrap forecast coming up.
We look around this holiday season, whether it's a Thanksgiving that just passed or Christmas that lies ahead in the new year, there's so many families out there that are not going to have that friend.
DEA agents say they are focused on the victims of drug trafficking as they begin a new crackdown. Why their mission is particularly challenging here in the West. An Arizona teenager who pulled off a dangerous stunt outside of Phoenix has now been arrested. Images posted to social media show Sam Campbell riding a dirt bike and jumping at least 15 feet in the air over a wide street in the community of Gilbert. The 18-year-old used a grassy retention area as his ramp, and this video got more than 17 million views online. Gilbert police call the stunt careless and outrageous.
Never hosted X Games. This isn't a place where Olympics happen where sporting on a bike like that's tolerated. And so if they want to ride a bike in that fashion, by all means, but that needs to happen on a track. That's the appropriate place for that.
Campbell is facing 1 count of reckless driving. Investigators are planning to keep that motorcycle impounded for evidence in the ongoing criminal investigation. Campbell's father says his son is remorseful for carrying out the stunt.
We know my son made an error. He's very sorry about what he did. He's suffered a whole litany of consequences for it. He recognizes what he did was wrong and is very, contrite about it. He's upset. He wishes he could go back and fix it.
This is not the first time someone has used this particular area in Gilbert to pull off a stunt. Back in October, the person behind another jump was also arrested for reckless riding. Well, DEA agents are hoping that a new initiative will curb fentanyl trafficking here in the West. They say Colorado is one of the country's hot spots for drug activity. Fox's Kennedy Hayes spoke with agents in Denver about how their Fentanyl-Free America campaign looks to change that.
Yeah, the DEA says its new nationwide campaign, Fentanyl Free America, is already making a major impact. Agents are going undercover to seize fentanyl, make arrests, and then get the word out there to the public. Already just this month, the DEA reports seizing more than 45 million fentanyl pills and 9,000 plus pounds of powder. That's enough for an estimated 347 million potentially deadly doses of fentanyl. In October, the first month of the Fentanyl Free America campaign, the Rocky Mountain Mountain Field Division, which covers Colorado, Utah, Montana, and Wyoming, seized more than 1 million fentanyl pills and fentanyl powder, made more than 70 arrests, and seized dozens of illegal guns. That put the division in the top 3 nationwide for fentanyl seizures. DEA agents say Colorado remains a major hotspot for Mexican drug traffickers. It's a key hub for moving fentanyl linked to the Sinaloa and Jalisco cartels due to its central location and network of major highways. Just last month, agents here made a record-breaking bust, seizing more than 1.7 million counterfeit pills. Along with some of these big-time busts, the DEA also says fewer pills today are lethal, about 3 out of 10, down from nearly 8 out of 10 2 years ago. Agents say that drop may simply come from inconsistent mixing, some pills weak, others still deadly. They also say the initiative is driving up prices by pressuring cartel supply chains. And while CDC data shows overdose deaths are declining, agents caution there's still more work to be done.
If you talk more, I think, about the victims, and when we look around this holiday season, whether it's a Thanksgiving that just passed or Christmas that lies ahead, the New Year, there's so many families out there that are not going to have that friend, that loved one sitting at the dinner table this year to celebrate. And if you ask them, I'm sure they would have loved to have that opportunity to have a tough conversation about what fentanyl is or the dangers of these pills.
And according to CDC estimates, fentanyl killed approximately 50,000 people last year, and it remains the leading cause of death for adults ages 18 to 45. In Denver, Kennedy Hayes, Fox News.
All right, let's shift now and talk about our weather here in the West. And people planning weekend getaways to the mountains outside Salt Lake City are being warned tonight about potentially dangerous driving conditions. Images posted online show cars traveling over slushy roads in the Cottonwood Canyons area today. On and off snow is expected all the way through Sunday. Snowplow crews are out and about, but drivers are still being urged to travel with caution in this area. In Washington, public works agencies in Snohomish County are getting ready for a series of storms forecasted to move through the Pacific Northwest over the next week or so. The heaviest rain is expected to hit on Monday, with river levels forecasted to drastically increase Tuesday. Officials are offering sandbags to help people prepare for flooding and encouraging residents to keep an eye on their neighborhood drains.
Now is the time for folks to clear the storm drains in their community, or if they know of clogged culverts or drainage issues, report those now.
Officials recommend looking up where the floodplains are in your area so you can accurately assess your own flood risk and pick up an appropriate amount of those sandbags to protect your property. All right, let's take you up to Seattle now. Light rain has been falling in the Seattle area throughout most of today. This is a live look at the downtown area, looking very festive tonight. The Space Needle certainly is. For more on what they could expect here in the coming days in the Pacific Northwest, let's bring in KTVU meteorologist Roberta Gonzalez, who is tracking that atmospheric river expected to bring a whole lot more rain. Things are really going to ramp up here in the next couple of days. Hey, Roberta.
Alex, that was a stunning picture, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, but those video images you were sharing with us a little bit earlier of the flooding that is expected to take place, boys, that'll certainly dampen your holiday spirits. Literally. Okay, we're talking atmospheric river, and it's been banging up against the Pacific Northwest. And you know why they're seeing all the action? Right here. You see the circulation in a clockwise fashion. This is a huge dome of high pressure that's been planted in place for days, for nearly a week now, and that's keeping the Bay Area, the San Francisco Bay Area on the dry side. The same thing with Southern California, 15 days without any precipitation while it's riding right there. And look at how far back this plume of moisture goes. So yes, Monday is going to be the most severe day as far as precipitation is concerned. Now, yesterday about a ½ inch of rain did fall in the Seattle area, but today, minimal amounts were recorded, but we still had a little bit of light flooding to the north of the Seattle area. Now, how much rain is going to fall over the weekend? We're talking about another ½ inch in Seattle, approaching an inch in the Portland, Oregon area, and even nicking that northwestern quadrant of the state of California. By Tuesday, we're approaching 2¼ inches of rain in Seattle. Now, nearly 4 inches of rain in Portland, Oregon. That'll cause some problems there. And then again, San Francisco remaining pretty much much on the dry side. You might see some accumulation from the very dense fog. Rain showers now trying to enter that northwestern section and north central section of California, but high pressure is going to ward it off. You can see the dampness here at the port of Seattle. At 55 degrees today, average high is right around 51 degrees, so pretty spot on. San Francisco finally scrubbed out that tule fog that gathered and generated from the Central Valley. 52 degrees was the high. That's down from the average high in the low 60s. We take you now to Phoenix, 67 degrees, when typically you should be right around 70 degrees. And Los Angeles spot on with the abundance of sunshine at 73 degrees. Okay, what you saw today and yesterday is pretty much what you're going to see again on Saturday. 52 right now in San Francisco, 40 in Salt Lake City, clearing right around the Bay Area. Phoenix, you're looking sweet with the abundance of sunshine. And Denver, you're where you should be for this time of the year, in the 40s. Alex?
All right, Roberta, thank you so much. Up next here on West Coast Wrap tonight, surveillance video shows thieves crashing a truck through a drugstore in Washington and stealing an ATM. What happened when deputies responded to that scene? Newly released surveillance video shows thieves crashing a truck right through a Walgreens store to steal an ATM. Sheriff's deputies in Pierce County, Washington say this all unfolded on Wednesday. The thieves were gone by the time deputies arrived, but as those deputies were searching the surrounding area, they found people trying to connect an ATM to another vehicle. It appears the chain used to drag the ATM out of the store broke in the process. The suspects then took off after being spotted by the deputies, and they left behind the ATM. The search is continuing tonight for those thieves. And finally tonight, U.S. Postal Service workers say they are getting ready to send out your holiday packages and cards and get them to their destinations on time. Fox 10's Megan Spector went inside an Avondale, Arizona mail processing plant to see how they are handling the season's rush of activity.
This machine can process more than 58,000 packages an hour, which is essential for the busiest mailing season of the year.
Much like Santa's workshop, the USPS package facility here in Avondale is gearing up for the busiest time of the year.
It's the holiday season, so it's that time when people are shopping, getting ready for the holiday.
Leaning on technology to help make sure gifts are under the tree by Christmas morning.
This machine here is 160,000 square feet. It's the equivalent of 3 football fields. We've increased our capacity from 60 million packages to 88 million packages nationwide.
And adding extra hands to manage the holiday rush.
We've hired 14,000 seasonal employees to complement our workforce of 232,000 employees.
But the support isn't just inside. USPS is rolling out more delivery vehicles on the streets too.
We have 24,000 new vehicles that have been deployed on delivery routes. And so we are definitely ready.
Delivering the holiday magic one package at a time.
Well, for 250 years, the Postal Service has been connecting friends and families and communities, and it's no different during the holiday season.
Make sure you're shipping your packages with plenty of time. Megan Spector, Fox 10 News.
That does it. Have a great night.